The morning sun spilled through the tall glass windows of Crestwood High, painting golden streaks across the polished floors. Students rushed past, voices mingling in a blur of chatter, laughter, and the metallic clang of lockers. For most, it was just another ordinary day. But for Emma Hayes, it felt like walking into enemy territory. Emma was 16, with auburn hair that she often kept tucked behind her ears, and pale, freckled skin that turned red whenever too many eyes fell on her. She wasn't used to crowds, attention, or whispers. She was the new girl, again. Her father's job had moved them from town to town so many times that she'd lost count. Each time she entered a new school, she carried the same prayer, "Let me be invisible. Please, just let me pass unnoticed." But invisibility was a gift she would not receive that day. As Emma walked down the hallway, clutching her books tightly against her chest, she could already feel it, the stares, the smirks, the whispers buzzing around her like hornets. Her white dress, simple but neat, made her stand out among the sea of hoodies and ripped jeans. And then, the voice came. "Hey! New girl." Emma froze. The crowd parted just enough to reveal Adam. 17, tall, broad-shouldered, with hair so blonde it almost seemed bleached. He wore a black varsity jacket, the kind that screamed confidence and power. His smirk was practiced, sharp, the kind that could charm teachers but terrorize classmates. Everyone knew him. Everyone feared him. Emma wished she could melt into the ground. Adam sauntered toward her, his gang of 3 boys following close behind. They had the same swagger, the same cruel glint in their eyes. He stopped a few feet from Emma, tilting his head with mock curiosity. "What's this?" he said, circling her slowly. "Little Miss Sunshine decided to bless us with her presence. That's a pretty dress you got there." Emma clutched her books tighter, her face heating. She didn't reply. Adam leaned in closer, his breath brushing her ear. "What's the matter? Cat got your tongue?" His friends chuckled. The crowd of students pressed in, phones already raised, eager to record what they knew would be another one of Adam's shows. Still, Emma stayed silent. Adam clicked his tongue, feigning disappointment. "Not gonna talk. That's boring. Let's make it interesting." Before Emma could react, Adam grabbed the hem of her dress and yanked. Ryup. The sound was deafening. Emma gasped, spinning around, clutching the torn fabric against her chest. Her face turned crimson as laughter exploded around her, filling every corner of the hallway. Students pointed, phones zoomed in, and the humiliation wrapped around her like chains. Tears welled in her eyes, but just before they fell, a memory surfaced. She was 12 again, barefoot in the backyard, standing on the worn wooden deck her father had turned into a makeshift dojo. The late afternoon sun bathed the scene in gold. Her father, tall and broad with kind eyes, stood in his white GI, watching her fumble through her stances. Beside them, their German shepherd, Ranger, lay in the grass, ears perked. "Emma," her father said gently, "karate isn't about fighting. It's about control. About standing strong when the world tries to knock you down." "But Dad," she panted, wiping sweat from her forehead, "what if I'm too small? What if I can't win?" Her father knelt, placing a hand on her shoulder. His voice was steady, warm. "You don't win by being the biggest or the loudest. You win by refusing to give up on yourself. Strength," he tapped her chest, right over her heart, "is here." Emma blinked, the memory crashing over her like a wave. Her trembling stopped. Her breathing slowed. When she lifted her eyes to Adam, something had changed. She wasn't just the shy new girl anymore. Adam, mistaking her stillness for fear, laughed. "What? Gonna cry? Or maybe you think you can fight me? Nobody says no to me." His voice thundered down the hallway. The students roared with laughter. But Emma didn't flinch. She took a slow step forward, her torn dress still clutched in one hand. Her other hand balled into a fist. Her eyes locked on Adam's. And in the next heartbeat, she struck. Her hand shot out in a precise karate chop, hitting Adam's wrist with controlled force. His grip loosened, his phone slipped from his fingers, and he stumbled back, eyes wide with shock. The crowd gasped, the laughter dying instantly. Emma stood tall, her stance firm, her eyes blazing. For the first time, Adam didn't look untouchable. He looked small. If you believe in courage, in fighting for your dignity when the world tries to break you, then you'll love the stories we share here. Subscribe to SoulTouch Stories today, because every story here is meant to inspire strength in you. Adam's shock quickly turned to rage. His jaw tightened, his pride wounded. "You'll regret that," he spat, signaling his friends. "Get her." The three boys lunged at once. Emma's heart pounded, but she remembered her father's words, "Control, Emma. Don't fight with anger, fight with focus." The first boy swung his fist. She sidestepped, deflecting his arm and pushing him back into the lockers with a sharp shove. The second charged, but she blocked his punch, spun, and swept his legs out from under him in one fluid motion. He hit the ground with a thud. The third tried to grab her from behind, but Emma ducked, slamming her elbow into his stomach. He doubled over, gasping. The hallway erupted. Students screamed, not in mockery this time, but in awe. She took them all down. "No way. Did you see that?" Phones captured every second, flashing and clicking. Emma didn't care. She stood in the center of the chaos, chest rising and falling, her eyes steady. Adam backed away, disbelief twisting his features. He tried to sneer, but his voice cracked. "This isn't over." But everyone knew it was. Moments later, the principal arrived, demanding explanations. Adam and his friend stammered excuses as they were dragged away. Emma was asked to come too, but this time, the looks that followed her weren't mocking. They were filled with respect. "Emma," the principal said gently, "you defended yourself with courage and restraint. That takes real strength." Word spread fast. By the next day, the video of Emma's stand was everywhere. Students who once ignored her now came up to her with admiration. Some whispered their own stories of being bullied, their voices trembling, "I wish I could have done what you did." Emma listened quietly, but her silence carried a new weight. She wasn't invisible anymore. She was strong. At night, she sat by her father's photograph, Ranger curled at her side. She whispered, "Dad, I didn't let them break me. I stood my ground." Weeks later, Emma walked down the same hallway. The same lockers. The same floor. But everything felt different. Students moved aside, not out of fear, but respect. Some nodded. Others smiled. There were no whispers, no laughter, no jeers. She wore jeans and a light jacket, her auburn hair glowing in the soft sunlight streaming through the windows. She no longer stared at the ground. She walked tall, every step steady, unshaken. If Emma's journey touched your heart, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to SoulTouch Stories. Every click helps us share more stories of courage and resilience that can inspire millions. As the light bathed her face, Emma paused, hearing her father's words echo in her memory, "Strength isn't how hard you hit. It's how strong you stand when life tries to tear you apart." And Emma stood strong. Stronger than ever.